Villanova and Houston, they have gone to the half, and well, Joe, it's been all Villanova for the first half. I gave out in the free pick video the under in the first half, which was 59.5. A few complaints there in the YouTube comments as usual. Did not like the fact that I gave out a free first half pick, even though I had hit my last Villanova and Houston games, which I gave out first halves in both of those as well as free picks, and both of those were winners. I didn't win one of my first half picks I gave out, which was Carolina +1 against UCLA. So they felt that because I had lost a game, wow, all my first half picks are useless, which makes a lot of sense. Anyways, Joe, what did you think of the first half?
Yeah, it was a great first half. If you're on Villanova, Villanova just was dominating. Houston is getting way too many mistakes. They're making those mistakes. They're getting those penalties called on them, and they need to really sharpen up.
Well, we've seen a few rim rattlers here for Houston as well. Shots that looked like they were going down that did not go down. Of course, those are going to have to go down if they're going to make the comeback here. Certainly not out of the realm. We have a low-scoring game, and it's not going to take much to create a comeback. In this. I have the under for the game as well, 128, I believe it is, and then I have Houston plus the points. They're down or minus the points, so we're down by 9.5 in this thing. We gotta reel them in if we're gonna collect that. If not, I think the under at 128. I think I'm in solid shape there, but we're not gonna count any chickens before they hatch. Before you know it, we're in overtime and. Double overtime and triple, and it's the epic game to remember, right? So, these happen, but I think so far, this is what we've seen here is kind of some of the things that maybe I had forgotten and I let get away from me when I took Houston here, and that's that Villanova is just a damn good team, and, built for tournament play. Take nothing away from Houston here at all, but, I think what we're seeing here is more about Villanova than Houston. Like I said, Houston has had some opportunities. We've just seen these shots rattle in and out, some wide open threes miss, and even underneath the rim, not being able to convert, and as well, on some layups. They have to make those shots. Houston 0 of 8 from beyond the arc. Villanova just 3 of 12. So this is like the Kansas Providence game yesterday. Very, very, very similar to the first half of that game. Very similar. Except no Ed Cooley.
Yeah, Ed Cooley's not there. I'm sure he's coaching somewhere, though, at this moment.
I'm sure he's watching the game and, probably still thinking about yesterday's game. It was a tough loss for him. But it's still, Ed Cooley's probably still coaching his way through this one, even though he's not a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Villanova's just making these deep balls go in so easily. They're beautiful when they go in, Mitch, and Houston's hasn't been able to do that so far. Well,
that's the Villanova basketball that we know, and it's like, those threes go in and they make it look really, really easy, and that's when you really have to watch out for everything that's going on with them. But at the same time, I don't think Houston is out of this game. They've hit 0 3-pointers. That's not going to happen throughout the game. And when you look at this game, from in that perspective, and you say, well, 2 stops and 2 threes, they're down by a bucket. As far as overall, of course, 3 threes and 3 stops for us, and we're in the cover zone. We're just a half point out from covering here, so it's this happen. It can and it does happen very, very fast. Let's take a look at some of the numbers for the second half. Joe, just while I'm looking, go and tell us some more thoughts here about everything that's going on here.
The only other thing I was going to say about this game is Houston just can't draw those penalties. They send Villanova to that free throw line, and it's in after basket after basket after basket. So they're going to get themselves in trouble if they draw these penalties because they play such a strong, aggressive defensive game, and they have to be careful.
But this is Houston's game, and I don't think that they can get away from it. I think, the refs have called the games fairly consistently throughout the tournament, and I just don't think that, it's time to change your game and not be aggressive. They got here by playing that way, and I think, if they're going to go down, then you got to go down like that, and that's just
Yeah.
the way that they do it. It's kind of like Phil Mickelson, golf, who obviously not as popular today as he was, a couple months ago. But Phil always says, when he lost the U.S. Open, going for it on a hole where he clearly had the tournament won, all he needed to do was lay it up. He said, well, this is my game, and I'm not going to apologize for it. And if I'm going to lose, I'd way rather lose playing my game than trying to do something that's not part of my game. And I think we see this all the time with teams that play the clock, that play all these different things, that try different things that are way outside of what they've ever practiced, and they find themselves kind of on the wrong side of things. But let's take a quick look here and see exactly what the numbers are at. Like we see, Villanova's hit 3 threes, Houston's hit 0. That is the difference in this game. You take out those 3 threes, or if you give Houston 2 threes, we're talking a different game right here. So I think this one could turn around in a hurry. The odds makers are saying that they've made Houston 3.5-point favorite here for the second half. The total 67.5. That is a big number. We're probably going to see some fouling, if Villanova starts to pull away. But wow, that's a big number, Joe.
We're only at 47 for the first half. I've got to take that under. I can't think that it's going to go over that 47.5. Not from what we've seen. What do you think, Mitch, on that?
I don't know. I think, the people like me who are sitting there at 128, you take the over 67.5, and you've got a massive middle here, on this one. So, I think they realize that maybe they're dead on that over, and just trying to bait people to the under here.
Good point. That is a very good point.
Because,
that gets you to 114, right?
Well, we were 3 of 20. We were 3 of 20 from beyond the arc, and it wasn't like they were swatted away contested shots. Has anyone seen Coach K's wife more than this, in his entire career combined? Are we sick of this woman or what? It's like, my God. It's like she's not part of this. It's they show her in the stands. She cheers for her husband. That's good. If it was her and they show him, it's a different. They spin it, right? The narrative. Go away. Okay. Come back at the end and tell everyone how proud you are of your husband and his career achievements. But this walking into the men's locker room with him is just not reality. Tell you what, some coach recruits me, and then my kid and his wife's walking into the men's locker room. We're out of there. It's my 2 cents.
Oh man. Okay, but I hear what you're saying on that total, Mitch, with the 3-pointers missing. You're right. If we take the 67.5, add it to that 47, we've only got 114.5, 115.5 if you had the under 128. So. And see a reason for that over.
To everyone that's thanking me for what we do and everything. It's not just me. We have an entire team here. Joe is with me almost every show that I do, and she's even been here for shows that I haven't been. Joe's only been with us 6-7 months. I don't think she's missed one day throughout that entire time. So certainly not just me, but we are glad that we're able to deliver a product that people enjoy. And I promise you, like I always say, I've said for the last 15 years, I promise you it will only get better. We will not take away the things that you like. We will only enhance what we have that you do like and bring in new things. So we always do the best that we can. And, it all revolves around community and winning. Sometimes things do have to go, and that's just because they just don't make sense economically anymore. Or for, what we were doing, what we were doing 5 years ago is not what we're doing today. And it's a natural progression. What are the chances both teams score 40 or more in the second half? 0. Yeah. Unless there's overtime. Both teams score 40 or more. We saw 20 from Houston. I think that they could score 40. I think it's possible. But, that's what it would take to get this. You still wouldn't be at the over at that point.
Good point.
Yeah, we are
Yeah.
81 points off the
Wow.
over. There's Jim Larinaga. This is the last time we'll see him before he's got a pair of scissors in his hand. He's cutting down a net. So get used to that picture right there of him. Just remember it well, because after this
Yeah.
will be his second trip to the Final Four.
Wow.
I'm not jinxing anything. You kidding? I'm so excited about it. Oh, JPZ's got 127. I have 128.
Yeah, I got the 127 too.
So
That whole point.
I got 128. I don't think it's going to matter at this point. You could easily hedge out on your bet. You take that over 67.5. You could smack that middle of both of them. It gives you a 20-point middle to hit both sides.
That is a great middle.
It is a great. Sure. You're never going to get a better middle than that.
I know.
Yeah, well, you have the best number right now, and it's 67.5. You have a better number. I feel obligated to take the over here.
Yeah.
You know,
when you put it that way, you are obligated.
I feel obligated to take the over. I'm pot committed there. It's like if I don't take the over and for some reason I lose my under, right, altogether, I'm an idiot. You know, I have a 20-point middle. If the middle hits, I'm even dumber because it was so obvious. And if I lose, you know, some of my bet because I hedged out, I still win. You know, I still got something, and it's like, you know what? I've made worse bets than that. So I'm going to go the over.
Folks around the world just hating you right now.
What's that?
Folks around the world are hating you right now.
Well, they've hated me for a long time. People are always like, "Oh, don't you get the royal treatment in Vegas?" Yeah. I got to tell you, normally the people every time you cash out at the window, the pit boss needs to come over and for the recount. They generally don't like you that much. They're nice enough to you because you tip them out. You know, the people at the window are fine, but it's not like they welcome you with open arms. Yeah, come beat the crap out of us. You know, they don't like it, and most people know. And I've been totally honest about this throughout the years. I don't always win a ton, you know, as far as the number of bets that I win. But it seems that those games that I really hit them, you know, like money line against Auburn last week, or Miami against Notre Dame that year in football, and you know, there's been a number of these that we've done throughout the years. Alabama versus LSU, the Jalen Hurts game. These, you know. These are the ones, you know. These are the ones where you go big. What is the zero play? What's the zero play? I don't understand the question.
Zero play?
I don't understand the question.
I don't understand that either.
I don't mean either. All right, well, we'll move on. But we have, you know, in this game, we also have, so then the second half is Houston -3.5. I've got them, you know, -2.5 for the game. I'm double in on this one now, you know, and this is the one where if you're on the other side on Villanova, you've got the massive middle. So if you have Villanova, you got them +2.5 for the game. You get them +3.5 for the second half. It gives you a, let's see, so 7. It gives you anywhere between if you take Villanova +3.5, second half. So if they lose the half by 4, they lose the half by, so it's 7 points. So if they win by 4, if they win by 4 or more outright, you hit both sides. If they you know, the where you're in trouble on that one is you could lose both sides.
If Houston blows them out.
If Houston comes out and hits 4 3-pointers and Villanova gets stopped in the end, it's that quick and that easy that something like that could happen. So I'd probably stay away from that. I'd take, you know, I'm on Houston minus the 2.5 for the game. I'm probably going to go -3.5 here as well on this, only because I'm already in, and I already cashed that first half under. So
yeah.
You know, I'm good there, but that's about where I'm at. But I'm not saying that I like the over as a play. I'm saying I like the over in relation to where I'm at. You know, so if you're on the over for the game, well, you're probably screwed, and like you need overtime.
Yeah.
overtime, or
Oh,
just a
absolutely.
scoring barrage, which
Yeah,
these
it's gonna
teams
be
are
three
capable
after
of
three.
doing. I just don't know if they're capable of doing it against these defenses, which are, I mean, Villanova's taking the full 30 seconds, every time down the court. And, Houston, is just can't hit a wide open 3-pointer. It's kind of
Yeah.
like the Providence guy that ran away from the 3-pointer yesterday. He never saw it, that he was wide. He was so wide open, he just couldn't believe he was that wide open. And he didn't look for the
I know
ball.
the shock on his face. Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? That wasn't the play. Like, yeah, the confusion there.
So, yeah, I'm on the game under as well. Joe is on the game under. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that if we take the over for the second half, I have it at 128. Joe has it at 127, and it gives you – so for Joe, it's a 19 and a half. It's a 19 and a half point middle.
Yeah.
So if this game falls anywhere between 67 and a half and 86 and a half. No, it'd be if it falls anywhere, the second half, 60, if it falls anywhere between, let me see, so you're 80 away, right?
Yeah.
So you're 80. So that would give you a 13-point middle, actually. So is what it is.
Yeah.
So
Which I'm pretty comfortable with.
yeah, 13-point middle. There, I have a little bit more. I have about a 14-point middle.
Yeah.
Because I'm a 128. But Houston players they by no stretch of the imagination feel that they're out of this. They know they're 0 from 8 from beyond the arc. They know that. They don't even need to look at the statistics. They know it. And they also know that they had some rattle out. They knew that they missed some wide open looks. It's not like Villanova came up and swatted the ball. It's not like, the Miami game or the Arizona versus Houston game where they were just dominated them. These are, they've had shots. They've just missed them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Houston, I do think Houston wins and covers. I have Houston for the game. I'm not ready to let that one go away either. I do think that they need to come out quickly, though, and at least get a 2 right out of the gate. I think what we saw from Houston is the 2 is there on the inside, and they've missed those 2.
Yeah, they have.
I'm also sick of Coach K's wife. I'm sick of them showing her. I'm sure she's a super nice lady. I just don't understand what she has to do with this tournament.
I don't know. Maybe it's the last time we're going to see her around, I guess. Right? No, he'll go to games. He'll bring her.
No, this will be
No?
it for her. This is her last thing. It doesn't work like that.
No? Okay.
No. Normally the retired coaches go and they sit in the stands like with somebody, with people that you don't know who they are.
Okay.
We saw Gene Cady at a Purdue game recently, and we saw, we used to see Judd Heathcote at Michigan State games, and even John Wooden at UCLA games. Yeah, they just don't show it. They don't. It's not like Giselle, and Tom Brady. Like they'll be showing her, with the kids when he's not playing. It just doesn't
That's
work.
true.
It just doesn't work like that.
That's true.
Doesn't.
But
work.
if he's sitting in the crowd, you don't think Giselle would go with him?
I don't know if he would. I don't think so. I think if he's not playing, I don't think she would go. I don't think she's that big of a football fan in general.
That's true. She didn't wear his colors for the Super Bowl.
No? Normally she
never
wears the
forgive us
jersey.
that.
Normally she wears the jersey.
The one year she didn't. She just wore a white tank top. I was like, what is she doing?
Normally she wears the jersey. The
Yeah,
Lady
I
Gaga
think she got
year.
tore apart for that.
The Lady Gaga year, she wore the jersey. I know that.
Oh, okay.
The Falcons game.
Yeah, I can't remember which year it was. But just a
Let's take a last look at these lines. Like I said, for me, it's mostly about trying to catch that middle on the big number there. 80 points off. So Scott Smart, I'm on the other side. It says nothing. You need to say it exactly what you have. I have Villanova plus the 2.5. I have Villanova money line. I have whatever. Yeah. I'm on the other side, or I'm just fading you because I'm a turd. Which I don't know if you are or not. I've seen you in here. I don't remember. We got a million people here. So,
Oh, too funny.
Yeah. It's like, no idea. But
And we
anyways,
could
they're
be on
back
the
on
other
the
side of
court.
Coach K's way.
I'll see you guys in a few hours. Halftime of Arkansas Duke. It is a similar matchup. Spurs winners outright versus.
Nice.
Did they outright win it? April. April's always watching out for us.
I love it. Yeah, they did. Oh,
Outright
there's
winners.
A minute left.
Outright winners against Pelicans. Now I see it with 1 second, 1/10 of 1 second, 107, 103.
Mine's not updating. Nice.
Yep. Spurs, baby.
Great work.
All right. That was a premium YouTube play for me.
Love it.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Here comes Houston dribbling down. We'll stay here for the first minute. And a turnaround inside, misses the layup, and they call it offensive foul. That was not good. That was not what the doctor ordered. Yeah, the arms are folded for Kelvin Sampson. Me too. I got Houston. So, anyways, thanks, everyone, for joining us. I'll see you guys in a few hours. Duke, Arkansas.
Gonna be a good one.
Gonna be a good one.